Hi there. Have you ever noticed patterns in your life or work that seem to repeat no matter what you do? Maybe you felt stuck, anxious, or unsure about making a big decision. What if I told you there's a method that helps you understand why these patterns exist and how to break free from them? It's called Constellations work. Don't worry, it has nothing to do with the stars. Instead, it's a way to explore the hidden forces and patterns that shape your life. Think of your life like a puzzle, where all the pieces, your family, work, relationship, emotions, and goals fit together to form a picture. Sometimes certain pieces seem to be missing or misplaced, making the picture unclear. This method helps you find and rearrange those pieces so you can see the full image and understand how to move forward. Whether the challenges come from family history, workplace struggles, or personal doubts, this approach reveals what's underneath and offers a clear path to resolution. In this video, I'll explore the 3 most common ways that we use this methodology and how it can help with the challenges you are facing, designed to help you understand and resolve these patterns in a practical, insightful way. So, the 3 most commonly used constellation types are family constellations, which looks at personal and generational patterns, things that may have been passed down from generation to generation. Then there's organizational constellations, which focuses on workplace and business systems. And finally, the third, there's systemic constellations, which are often used for exploring broader or more abstract systems, like our place in the world, our emotions, and our life goals or our purpose. We will also talk about a way of working within systemic constellations by looking through a biographical lens, the experiences, emotions, and history of your life, to better understand the past and how it may be shaping your present. By the end of this video, you'll understand how these different expressions of constellations work are, what they can do, and how it can guide you towards more freedom and fulfillment. Let's start with family constellations. Imagine your family as a big invisible web. Everybody is connected: parents, siblings, grandparents, even relatives you have never met. Now, when something difficult happens in that web, like a forced migration, a war, a loss that is ignored, or a trauma that goes unspoken, it can create tension or a disruption of the flow. It's a bit like a spider web. When you move it on one side, it creates a movement on the other side, and it ripples through the entire system. Family constellations help us see those invisible lines and helps them untangle them. Let me give you an example of a client. Let's call her Amara. Amara is a successful professional who always felt guilt whenever she achieved one of her main goals. She felt as though she didn't deserve it, and it came to a point where others noticed and asked her if she was happy in life. She couldn't pinpoint why she had it and wondered if it might be connected to her family's past. In a family constellation, Amara and I explored her family system. The constellation intuitively led us to her grandmother. Amara remembered that her grandmother had lost a young child many years ago, a loss that was never allowed to be spoken about during family gatherings. Everyone always pretended as if the child never existed. But a family system, the streams of love running through it, it doesn't allow anybody to be excluded like that. This forgotten event and the unacknowledged pain that was caused by it had lingered in the family system and was subtly passed down through her family until it settled in Amara. Amara's guilt wasn't really about her achievements. It came from a subconscious loyalty to this young life, her aunt, that never had the chance to thrive like she could. Her guilt was her way of unconsciously saying, If she couldn't live her life fully, then how can I? During the session, Amara acknowledged her aunt's existence and her grandmother's grief. By giving this loss the recognition it needed, Amara freed herself from carrying this weight. She left the session feeling lighter and finally able to celebrate her achievements. As you can see from this example, family constellations are powerful because they reveal the hidden stories in our family web, the ones that might be holding us back. Once we bring those stories to light, we can begin to heal. Now let's move to organizational constellations. This approach takes the same idea of a web or a system, but applies it to workplaces and professional settings. Think of a business as its own system, with employees, teams, leadership, and even products all connected to each other. When something in that system is out of alignment, it can create tension and inefficiency. If unaddressed, this leads to problems like high employee turnover, miscommunication, not following the code of conduct, or even sabotage of the success of the company. Let's look at an example. Maria, not her real name of course, is the CEO of a growing tech company. She has a great product and a talented team, but lately her company has been losing their key employees and the morale is at an all-time low. During an organizational constellation session, Maria and I mapped out the key elements in her company: the management team, the employees, and the company's core values. It didn't take long for something quite striking to emerge. The representatives of the management team and the representative of the employees were standing with their backs to each other, visibly distant. Their posture and their energy showed frustration and disconnection. This was a huge insight for Maria. Deep down, she had noticed signs of this: stress levels rising, employees looking disengaged, but she hadn't fully acknowledged it until now. As a facilitator, I guided Maria in realigning the system. Leadership made a renewed commitment to supporting the employees, respecting their boundaries, and upholding the company's workplace wellness values. This visibly calmed down the representative of the employees, who now felt willing to look at the representatives of the leadership team again. So it seemed that the flow of communication was restored, and they seemed ready to express their frustrations if they would be given the chance. Of course, Maria left with some homework. Her next steps were to address the management team, mend the relationship with the employees, and reinforce the company's workplace wellness values in day-to-day practice. So this realignment restored the balance to her workplace, her company, improving both morale and productivity. This example shows how incredible organizational constellations can be. It can reveal the underlying issues that block workplace harmony, even when the root cause isn't that obvious. And by addressing these issues, businesses can create a healthier, more effective environment. Now that we've explored family constellations and organizational constellations, let's take a closer look at systemic constellations. Beyond family and work, this method can help with personal challenges, like decision-making, overcoming fear, or understanding recurring emotional patterns. It focuses on your inner life and the experiences that have shaped who you are. This is also where the biographical aspect comes in. Your personal history, your suppressed emotions, unbreakable patterns of behavior, or your big goals and visions. They can all help discover what's happening within your internal system. Think of it as zooming in what's happening inside you. Now, let's look at another example. Meet David, of course not his real name, an entrepreneur who feels stuck. He was torn between sticking with his current product, which was safe but uninspiring, and launching a new idea which excited him but also scared him. No matter what he did, he couldn't decide between the two. During the interview phase of the constellation, David recognized that his fear of failure was holding him back. This fear overshadowed both the current and the new ideas, keeping him stuck in indecision. As we worked through the interview, David recalled a childhood memory. He once created a new toy and proudly showed it to his family, only to have his father mock him in front of everyone. That moment left a deep mark, a lasting fear of trying and failing in front of others. In the constellation, we worked on comforting that part of him that was so hurt. David connected with that younger version of himself and offered that inner part the compassion and encouragement it didn't receive back then. This helped him realize that the fear, while very real at that time, no longer applied to his current situation. By releasing that old fear, David was able to approach his decision with clarity and confidence. As you can see, systemic constellations are incredibly diverse. When we explore our personal stories, we can find the beliefs and fears that are holding us back. Understanding these patterns helps us move forward with greater confidence and more freedom. So by combining life experiences with systemic insights, the process becomes a powerful tool for both self-discovery and for problem solving. So now that we've explored how this method works for family, workplace, and personal challenges, let's compare them a little bit to help you decide which approach might be right for you. If you're struggling with family-related challenges like unresolved grief, strained relationships, or patterns that seem impossible to break, family constellations are the perfect fit. A focus on family can help. It exposes connections to your past that might be shaping your present, allowing you to heal and find a new balance. If your challenges are professional things like a promotion, fitting into your team at work, leadership struggles, or workplace culture issues, organizational constellations provide clarity. It provides a realignment, helping you bring harmony and success back to your workplace or your business. And if your situation doesn't fall neatly into family and work, systemic constellations are ideal for focusing on your personal patterns and goals. This method dives deep into internal challenges, helping you understand your limiting beliefs, emotional blocks, and, for example, major life decisions. Systemic constellations allow you to dive into the world of your limiting beliefs and unconscious thoughts within yourself and your broader life system. The amazing thing is that all these approaches are tools to bring hidden influences out into the open, offering a new perspective on what's holding you back. So whether it's within your family, your workplace, or your inner world, constellations help you find clarity, healing, or a way forward. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope this video has given you a clear understanding of family constellations, organizational constellations, and systemic constellations, and how they can help with the challenges you are facing on a day-to-day basis. If this resonated with you today, or if you're just curious about how constellations might work for you, consider exploring one of these approaches with a facilitator. There's nothing more powerful than seeing your situation from a fresh perspective and discovering new possibilities. Remember, the path to clarity and healing is always closer than you think. Thank you again, and bye for now.